So now here comes the fun part where we get to run Kafka on our machine thanks to the Docker installation we just did, and then we can get started on using Kafka. So it's quite easy. For this one, you just need to go on Google and type landup fast data dev. Basically, these guys have created a Docker image that we're going to use that has everything we ever may want. So you can check out their GitHub, you can check out their front page. To make it a little bit easier for you guys, I already compiled the command you need to run to get started. So depending on if you have installed Docker on your Mac natively or on Linux or on Windows 10 64 bits, or if you use Docker Toolbox, you have a slight change in the command to run. So the first command right here is for Mac, Docker for Mac, that is greater or equal than 1.12. Okay, it's for Linux or it's for Windows, Docker for Windows 10. Okay, and the second command is when you want to run Docker Toolbox, in which case you have a virtual machine. Okay, so the only difference between these two commands is going to be the advertise host. In this one, it's 127.0.0.0.1. You have to remember this if you're in the first case. If you're in the second case, you also have to remember the IP. It's 192.168.99.100. Okay? Because I am in the first case, I have Mac and I run Docker on Mac 113, so it's more than 112. Then I just have to run this command. So I have a terminal window ready here, and pretty easily I just go and paste this one. As you see, I have the 127.0.0.1 because I'm using Mac. Just make sure you have the right IP for yourself. And then I press enter. You may see a lot of downloads and it'll take a lot of time. I've already downloaded it, so it's going a little bit quicker. But if there's a download, just wait for it to finish. It's going to take you a few minutes, okay? So now the image is getting started, and basically it's starting to give me a lot of log, a lot of information. So let's just go through it one by one. The advertised host is 127.0.0.1, and that's exactly what we want. That corresponds to the IP that we gave in the command, okay? Then it says you may visit this address in about a minute. So really give it a minute up until you actually run it. I just copied this one, and if I go to my web browser and paste this, we start seeing a UI. If you start seeing this, that's great. That means that it's working for you. Just so you know, if you are using the other IP, 192.168.99.100, the HTTP here will change using accordingly. So if you're using Docker Toolbox, the only difference that will be 192.168.99.100. Okay, but you will see the exact same thing right here. So you have to let this run through, because what's going to happen is that it's going to launch, do a few health checks, do a few queries, and so you'll see things will evolve, and you see the number of schemas getting greater, the number of topics getting greater. Nothing you have to worry about right now, but we'll go over it in a little time. As you can see right here on the info, it spins up a lot of things we learned in the past at Zookeeper. So we saw that Zookeeper was necessary to get Kafka working, so Zookeeper is starting. And then what's called broker right here is our Kafka broker. So basically this image starts Zookeeper, a broker, and a lot more stuff that is really nice when we do development, because it gives us some really nice UIs. Okay? So let's go right here. It's still creating more schemas, still creating more connector, but at this point, you should just wait a few minutes, let it run, and when this is ready, you'll see it will say all green. Okay, so as we can see now, the tests are complete. It says the health check is 100%. So at this point, we have a working Kafka installation. You see, that was easy. Just a few things. The first one is that the first terminal right here that runs the image should be long running. So never close it unless you want to shut down Kafka. Okay? But if you want to run additional commands, you have to open a new terminal window. Like right here, you see I have two tabs. I have this one and that one, and you can start typing your commands. Okay, but never close that one if you want to keep Kafka running. Finally, if you do want to shut down Kafka, it's very easy. You go on the terminal window that actually runs Kafka, and you do Control-C or Command-C, and automatically it's going to stop. It says waiting for Zookeeper, stopping all the elements, and right here it stops everything. Kafka, Zookeeper, your broker, and if you refresh the website right here, it can't be reached. That means that things have been shut down. Again, if you want to start it back up, it's pretty easy. You just run the command we did run right here. You run it. It's starting. It's pretty quick. And all of a sudden, if we go back to the UI, refresh, we see it's back up, and it's going to do all these tests all over again. So just so you know, don't delete your Kafka instance unless you really need to. Okay, so congratulations, you have Kafka running on your machine, and now we're going to get to the fun part, which is how to use Kafka.